Hello from London. No, it's not my birthday, but I've had a massive language book haul. All these beauties have been delivered. I want to get these envelopes open and find out exactly what's arrived. Come on, let's have a look. First, some tools to help me out. Let's get started. This is a book I've wanted for a while, and I managed to find second-hand actually. It's Barry Faber's Learn Any Language. I heard him speak actually at the Polyglot Conference in 2015 in New York City, and he gave a very entertaining talk. And it will be interesting to get back to some of his ideas, which of course date from the pre-internet language learning age too, but it's timeless wisdom. Aha, this is an advanced German book. It's Versprechen Sie Deutsch, Fehler für Lernbuch für Ausländer. So it's a way of correcting your failures or your mistakes, unlearning your mistakes, common mistakes that foreigners make. So that's for me polishing up my German. Currently I'm at C1 level, but I'd like to take it further. So that's what I'm going to enjoy browsing through now and again. The next one, another small envelope. Welsh words, core vocabulary with phrases. This is from Alolva, which is a well-known independent publisher, Welsh Interest and Welsh Language, and it's by Steve Morris and Paul Meara. I know Steve actually a little bit because when I trained to be a Welsh teacher, he was one of the course leaders. He's a very talented, entertaining guy, and he's been in Welsh teaching and Welsh language development for years. Core vocabulary with the phrases. So this is something really which is more of interest to me as a language mentor, teacher, occasional teacher of Welsh, because my Welsh is a very advanced level. But it'll be interesting to see what Steve and Paul have done in this book anyway, and I'll come back to it, I'm sure, in the future. Next one. There's two in here. Okay. Deutsch für junge Profis. That's another advanced German book. That's for my own use mainly, aimed at young professionals, wie man gut und lebendig schreibt. So it's about writing style, aimed at natives in German. So that's one I think that I can probably read cover to cover. It's quite short, and there's a lot of text in there. I don't know about you, it's got chapters, but I don't like books which are set out as A to Z sort of dictionary type format. I find that extremely boring. So I'm glad it's not done in that format. Otherwise, I think it would have been a deal breaker for me. The second one here is Deutsch, Wortsatz und Grammatik A1. And that's something I've bought for my own course development for the people I mentor, and also for the German course programs that I'm working on. So I want to make sure that I'm up to speed at what's going on at each level in German, as I work with professional native speaker German teachers to produce materials for people who are on my language program. So that's why I'm stocking up on German material. Next. Oh yes, this is Joseph Rosenberg, German, How to Speak and Write It. This is a book I've been eyeing up on the shelves in the bookshops for a while actually, and it's rather appealing because it's a very, very old book. I think it came out shortly after the war, and so this edition was first published in 1962. But it's very, very old-fashioned. You can see that from the illustrations. So the language will be a little bit veraltet, a bit archaic, if you like, but it's packed with information, and it has these wonderful pictures in, to illustrate items of vocabulary. The publisher is Dover. I think there's a reader that goes with it. I think there's a French course too. And I just wanted to see really how much value there is in this book for beginners of German, even today. And, you know, it's often, I think, worth looking at older materials. In some ways, we've discovered more efficient methods, but often the older stuff also has a lot of value still and a lot of stuff to teach us. And so I'm looking forward to going through this complete German course with a view again to picking out things that I can use to help my own mentees and students. This is a multiple book haul. Yes. Okay, this is a general health book, How Not to Die. This might be the most useful of all the volumes that I've had today. This is advice on discover the foods scientifically proven to prevent and reverse disease. So this was something that was recommended to me, quite a hefty tome that I wanted for my general lifestyle. Diet, I think, is a hugely important part of that. At the moment, I'm trying to actually reduce the amount that I eat in the first place. My diet is generally pretty healthy, but of course it's one of the major causes of illness or lack of wellness, isn't it, in rich Western societies. And some of the problems associated with our diet, too much refined sugars and processed meats, for example, lead to health problems which are now unfortunately showing up in rapidly developing countries like China and India. So we've all got a lot to learn, not only for our own health, but of course for animal welfare and for the environment, I think. So now back to the languages. This one is Fundamentals of Psycholinguistics. This is by Fernandez and Smith-Cairns. Again, a book which has been recommended to me. And it's the nature of linguistic competence, the chapters, the biological basis of language, the acquisition of language, the speaker producing speech, the hearer, speech, perception and lexical analysis, and the hearer, structural processing, and remembering sentences, processing discourse, and having conversations. I put a lot of emphasis on what I call brain savvy learning, and that needs to be rooted in the science. So I try and read as much as I can from the front, if you like, in terms of research by cognitive scientists and linguists, to make sure that what I'm saying is, you know, based and firmly rooted in the truth as discovered by the scientific method. So that's why I've picked up that book. And that's an empty envelope because that's one I opened earlier. So that's today's language book haul. I've only done this format once before, which was when I came back from Aberystwyth with a load of new second-hand books. If you like this book haul format, then I'll link to that underneath. So as you can tell then, what I've ordered reflects what's going on for me at the moment in my life, as you'd expect. I went on a bit of a binge, I have to admit. These have arrived over several days, but you can see it's my general language learning interest with the FABA, with the psycholinguistics, some things about health and life in general, and then also things to do with my own advanced German learning and the programs I'm working on at the moment for German students. And if you're interested in those and in working with me in general, well, there's a link underneath here. You can start by signing up to my free training webinars to help language students who are already a bit experienced build on their skills, or if you're just starting and you want to get off to a firm and flying start, that's for you too. So the link is underneath this video, and once you're into the email club on the mailing list, then you'll also hear when my new German programs are launched as they roll out. So thanks a lot for watching today. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, to subscribe for the vibe, throw me a thumbs up, tickle that bell, and share the affair. Now I better get reading.